Hey folks, we're back again. This is Cool Guy, and this is episode 9, I guess. Man, it seems like just yesterday that we started. So today we are going to be going to a very famous place called Pavlov's house. And the significance of this is that in a large sector of bombed out Stalingrad, it was the artillery spotting position. And in reality, a Sergeant Pavlov with a very small handful of troops held it against like this massive number of Germans. And it's basically a secular holy site now for very good reason, because Pavlov was a man and a half. And joining me here today is...
Hey everybody, it's the Last Robo Kai, and Pavlov's house sounds like it just sounds like, from what I know of it now, like it's going to be a terrible children's program.
Thinking about it, you know, it does make me kind of think of Wonder Chosen, but... It will not be anywhere near as fun, though it may be as twisted. So as our briefing screen says, we'll be getting to Pavlov's house through the Stalingrad sewers because sniper activity on the surface is ridiculous, and this is very accurate. So we'll see y'all in there.
Comrades of the Soviet Union, there is no need for this senseless bloodshed between our nations. The German people are not your enemy. If you surrender, you will be treated well. You will be given plenty of good hot food and warm clothing. The German army is your friend.
So that's the biggest freaking lie that you will ever hear over a loudspeaker in this game, or any game.
At least this microphone guy, and I'm assuming the guy from the Dam didn't fail so badly on that one that they sent front lines in the Soviet campaign. At least this guy's yelling in English, so we can know what lies he's spouting.
For what it's worth, prisoners of war on the Eastern Front were treated absolutely god-awfully on both sides. Neither side were saints on this, but yeah, a Soviet soldier could not expect to get plenty of good hot food. They could expect to get a crust of bread and a beating every day.
It would be a warm beating, though.
And particularly if you were a commissar. If you were a commissar, just frickin' forget it. Watch out. You'd get your ass kicked 24/7 until you died of getting your ass kicked.
But I would like to say as well, I like the looks of these new grenades we've got. It's really interesting. Yep. There we go. How's that for timing? That's really sort of interesting mechanism for that. Everybody else pulls something in, but it kind of looks like you... Sorry, pull something out, but it looks like you push something out.
You are pushing in the actual charge, I believe it is. The explosive charge. Unfortunately, because you have to do that in the animation, it looks really cool, but it makes these the worst grenades in the game just because it takes so long to throw the damn things.
Comrades of the great Soviet Union, we have nothing against the common Soviet soldier. It is your leaders who send you into battles you cannot win. Can you truly trust your war commanders who shoot you for taking cover or falling back and retreat? The German army is not your enemy. Surrender, and you will be treated with compassion and respect.
I wonder how often like this sort of thing got broadcast during this conflict. Like if this was a thing.
It definitely was a thing. As far as reality goes, I have no idea how often they played it. I would imagine it was pretty often. I mean, just from the advertiser's perspective of, you know, flooding somebody with your message.
That's just it's an interesting thing, like that they would even bother to do that. I guess would sort of show that they thought they had a good chance of breaking the morale of the Soviets, which turns out to be a bit of a misestimation.
It really is. I mean, when you have blocking troops like the Soviets did, morale starts meaning a little bit less, but it really is a creative use of resources by the generals on the Eastern Front, simply because, you know, after they had their momentum broken, at Stalingrad and it started to become a quagmire, they knew that it was going to get harder and harder to push forward. And if they didn't try something, they didn't change the game a little bit, you know, they were going to lose. And lo and behold, they were absolutely right. Also, I am stuck on an invisible thing.
Just so you can get shot in the face. Thanks, video games.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to be all sneaky and just, you know, sneak under everything, but the invisible wall had other ideas.
So you were just thinking about going back to try and get that guy. So just a little bit of a glance back there. It's like, no, remember the mission. You have to go roll in the sewers.
I always end up thinking, I just got all of this health back. Is this really the way I want to spend it? I never believe it when I hear somebody cry after I throw a grenade. I'm just like, they've got to be putting me on somehow.
Even though it's a mechanic that no one fakes you out on.
Well, they can't. I mean, the death screams that the Germans give are very distinct, but it's just like, I mean, every time I put my head around, they've got to be messing with me. It couldn't possibly be that easy. I'm gonna get shot in the face.
And to your credit, you're usually right. You're only paranoid if people aren't out to get you.
That must be a different way of saying it in Australia, because in America the saying goes, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
Well, no, that was just me basically just butchering metaphors. It's okay. Oh, shut up! We don't English so good in this country, mate.
Ha!
Honorable soldiers of the Soviet Red Army.
I gotta say, big ass sewers, a little small.
This area sucks. I mean, just look at this.
I mean, it's a sewer. You know, it's never gonna be a nice place to start with.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about how luxurious it is. I'm talking about how I'm fighting people from high ground with no cover.
Well, this is actually, as far as I'm concerned, really luxurious sewer. Look at the room you've got. You've got all these lovely views of the canal. This is romantic as hell.
What canals are you talking about, man?
In terms of sewers. Hey, look, I play video games. I have been in more sewers than most people who actually work in the industry. Even some of them are like in Silent Hill. Those are sewers, let me tell you something.
Those are sewers. I don't think anything about how good they are.
See, so Soviet sewers are not so bad in comparison.
Okay, that's a fair point, actually. I give you that one.
I think it's like it's multi-tiered. And now they're just spooking on you by having nobody around.
Yeah, I'm so freaking paranoid about this. I can't even tell you.
All these planks of wood. I mean, what have people been eating? I'm sorry. And I cannot get over the firing mechanism, like the explosive mechanism on those grenades. Such a weird thing, like, you know, like I'm just so used to popular culture and the idea of, you know, you pull the pin.
You put the pin back in. That's actually that. If I remember correctly, that was a suicide message in Quake 1. You killed yourself with a grenade. It said you tried to put the pin back in.
I suppose it's easier if you don't want to throw the grenade to take the firing mechanism out of a Soviet grenade than it is to try and put the pin back in. How terrible must things be up on the surface too when you're basically establishing bases in the sewers?
Yeah, like the briefing said, you know, I mean, this is kind of what people had to do simply because there were so many goddamn snipers up top.
So many snipers, so much artillery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's okay. I thought he was dead for a second there. He was faking him out.
I'm actually amazed he didn't succumb to that rifle shot, but, you know, whatever. Oh, God! charge me while I'm looking at the fucking first aid kits. Thanks, man.
Hey, well, you know, they left them there as a lure. They were gonna get you.
It's really nice that they continuously give you the scoped Mosin for these levels.
Well, if it's good enough for them to get to snipe you, it's good enough for you to get to snipe them. Like the open sky, that is such a great way to just, like, after that first sniper tunnel, to just really put you on edge. Like, there was nothing there, but even I could sort of sense it.
Oh man.
You know, it's like, oh shit.
You very much learn to look up, and when we get to Pavlov's house, you'll see that in action again. Multiple times.
Leonov's just taking bullets like a champion too.
He's still hanging in there. He's limping pretty bad, but
can't win them all, little buddy.
and that's the end of Leonov.
Brave soldiers of the Soviet Union.
I was starting to get worried about how much ammo I had on my scoped Mosin. I was just like, okay, maybe he's got more ammo. Nope.
To fight this war for his own benefit. Does such a man deserve your loyalty?
Those people jumping across this hop there. That is a really nice effect too. You know, you're really in a bad place right now.
You can actually shoot up at them and nothing will happen. I mean, you'll see the blood sprout out and everything, but they don't react to it.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of bad situations,
I can tell that guy was meant to be a warning.
I'm kind of amazed that the submachine gunner is still alive.
Must just have just the right angle to not get polarized.
Something like that. I still don't get it. And nobody's got any ammo.
Every bullet is starting to become like made of pure gold.
You have no idea how apprehensive I am about this.
I think you firing around corners is a pretty good indicator.
I actually forgot that this was the end of the level. I mean, it's just so abrupt.
In the ditch and keep your head down. They've got snipers out there.
Well, now we're on to the next part with the new buddy.
Sergeant Pavlov and his amazing Ushanka.
Yeah. The music setting this nicely.
Private Kovayenko, as the fastest man here, you will be debate.
Me? Oh, no thank you, comrade.
That is an order! Alexei will cover you with the sniper rifle from here. Now go, before I shoot you myself!
This is why you don't want to excel at anything. In armies like this, you're the fastest, start running.
Kind of reminds me of the prisoners theory for gladiator games that was apparently a thing back in Roman times. If you just be like the most average gladiator ever, they never put you on the ticket because you were too boring.
Sometimes mediocrity is its own reward. He almost got you aiming for fast legs.
No idea who he thinks he's aiming at, but whatever. He's dead now. It's almost a really good thing that Call of Duty 1 was prior to the day of achievements, because you just know that if achievements were a thing when this thing was up, there would be an achievement for nailing all of these snipers before they could take a pot shot at Kovalenko, and it would be impossible.
That would be the artillery that they often use that building for spotting from.
Yep. It also is done with bombers in this particular situation, which I'm pretty sure is not terribly historical, but whatever. Call of Duty.
Yeah, you know, the psychological effect of all those planes coming down over top and bombing the shit out of you is probably amazing.
Yeah, you should be seeing them overhead here in just a moment. My soldier will be too busy focusing on Germans, so...
There they are.
Yeah, there they are. Upper left.
Very impressive. I always like to see planes in formation. Once when I was learning to fly, I got the opportunity to see two Hercules transports in formation at a relatively good angle as they were coming in for a landing. It was really impressive.
They really are. There's a certain grace and majestic nature to those sorts of machines, even when they're not trying to be, you know, all Blue Angels or whatever. And also, yes, I am shooting at people's hands, and I do not give a flip.
Hey, if they can't pull the trigger, it's a victory.
I take the shots that I'm given. Also, I'm shooting dude just through a slit in the window.
There you go. That slit, basically, you know, they can only get you from one direction.
Yep. Also, being over here by the wall was, as you can see, kind of a suicide mission.
Wonder if our runner made it. Probably not.
Kovalenko gets nailed by the MG42s almost immediately.
Ah, dear. Oh well.
He's actually invincible to a certain extent while he's running, but he's at like the lowest part of the wall, and he's got two MG42s right in front of him, so he has like a snowball's chance in hell of surviving all that.
Yeah, that. It's just really just not the gig that I would ever want. If anyone ever said to me, "Hey, you're the fastest," I'd just like shoot myself in the leg.
Not anymore, comrade!
Of course, then I would have been bombed afterwards because I wouldn't have been able to escape. But you know what? You get that sort of chance. Hindsight is 20/20.
No problem, comrade.
So speaking of temporary invincibility, Pavlov himself is invincible right now, but he will not be invincible the entire mission.
At which point we start to run into the danger of time paradoxes.
Yeah, something like that.
When he dies, the entirety of this this apartment block just sort of folds in on itself.
You actually don't fail the mission if he dies, which is kind of interesting.
Pavlov gets tired, has a nap.
That's kind of what I figure actually happens, because I think canonically, or I think in history rather, Sergeant Pavlov did survive this particular battle. I'm not certain if he survived the end of the war though.
Vorsicht! Granate!
Also, this is me being very aware of vertical space.
All the holes in the floor, all the firing points.
Enemies will use that as well. You can't be ignorant of that because they will use them. Also, I'm stuck on geometry again. Damn it!
Oh dear, they just don't make stairs like they used to. Or perhaps the Russians don't make stairs like the Western stairs.
One way or the other, I can't figure out how to stairs today.
Take cover!
Actually, just on the subject of main characters or other historical figures getting killed or video game characters getting killed, I just want to say, like, we didn't really talk too much about it as an idea, but watching the intro to the Soviet campaign kind of really really laid it out. This game isn't really glorifying war quite as much as a lot of games do, in that, well, we got to see just how utterly insane to, like, our sensibilities that was. And then with Price, he basically gets killed with, like, scripted killed with no fanfare whatsoever, and I feel like that was a really great way to do it. Like, just, you know, like this conflict that you can be an amazing, giant mustached, glorious British man, but when your time's up, and no one's going to be like standing around waving your flag for you, and like, you know, having a touching bit of music and holding your hand while, you know, while the flag waves in the background, and it's just, you know, I think it dealt with a character death, I think, in a way that I feel like more games should. I pretty
much totally agree with you, and I think it's either grimly or hilariously ironic that when you talk about glorifying war, Modern Warfare, this game's genetic successor, is one of the biggest sinners as far as that goes. I mean, war is great in those games.
From what I see, like, it's basically a lot of masturbating over weapons technology, and how awesome it is to have lots and lots of guns. Again, I haven't played it, so I could be completely off the mark, but it just seems it seems a little bit up in the amazement of weaponry. And speaking of the amazement of weaponry, they left that there for you.
Yeah, those just spawned as we spoke to Pavlov just now. So, Pavlov said, you handle the tanks, we'll handle the troops. This is filed under lies my superior officer told me. I'm being kind of a dick about it. They actually do a reasonably good job of taking care of the absolute Zerg rush of Germans that come in, but you will have to take care of plenty of them yourself. Pegasus Bridge was the longest 5 minutes of my life. This is the longest 4 minutes of my life. I have absolutely no shame about cowardly hiding in what is probably a bathroom, or was a bathroom or something, just shooting at people who come up a ramp.
Well, there was a Soviet soldier hiding in there earlier as well. When you stepped in there, it was like a guy just sort of looking around as you cleared the building.
Oh, not just that. If you try to do anything else in here, you will get your ass kicked. It's not a matter of, well, if you're good, well, if you're bad. There are 2, sometimes 3 ways up in every single floor. So you will get flanked, the guy will be carrying an MP40 or an MP44, and you will die in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, so the safest place really to be is the place where they all come from.
Yeah, at the very least here, I have my back against the wall. You can see right there exactly how dangerous it is. I crawl out just to find some health, and I almost get my ass kicked by one guy with an MP40.
Yeah, he was just as surprised to see you, I'm sure.
Well, unfortunately, the AI in this game always psychically knows where you are to some extent, and it just feigns surprise.
Yeah, I can see if he was turning, he knew.
Fire in the hole, Steven!
Oopsie. That's the other really rough part about this, is that, you know, friendly fire is totally a thing, because I'm terrified. Are you terrified?
Well, I can say this would be a fairly brown pants moment in the history of warfare if I was a part of it. That's what I can say.
Where I'm standing right here is actually, it's nigh unto a cheat spot, and you'll see why as the time counts down a little bit more.
This conga line of dead Germans. Oh god. This is the most dangerous bathroom in existence. They're all really needing going, and it's just... Sorry, the bathroom's upstairs.
That guy just demonstrated why this is kind of a cheat. All of these guys are carrying submachine guns that could kill me very, very quickly if they used them. But I am so close to them that they will default to using melee instead.
Wow.
Yeah, so, that's what happens when a main gun shoots you.
You should probably have moved into melee.
Yeah.
Oh dear, well at least now you get a second opportunity to come forward German.
And trust me, I will take every opportunity to do that.
Fire up there! Granate! Granate! Granate!
I'm just loving it, just the constant yells of Granada.
I've just got boom, and I'm gonna throw it, and fuck everything. There are so many Germans around here. I can't properly explain how many freaking Germans are here.
You know, and they all look alike.
Yeah.
I'm not being racist here, they all look alike. We're basically, this is the Clone Wars.
You made the joke before I could.
Oh, here we go. Round 2.
You will notice that I'm not going to really do anything different, but...
Except hope to not get shot this time.
Yeah, spoilers, I mean, I'm not going to get shot by the main gun this time. Why? Because he chose not to fire it. There is really nothing more elaborate than that.
That is a crapshoot in the purest sense of the word.
It is! I mean, this entire level is a crapshoot. The only thing you can do to make it a little bit better is to hang out in this glitchy freaking area where they would rather hit you with the butt of their gun instead of just shoot you.
I really, at this point, I think we are on the amateur setting. This is like, you know, from a period when games had persistent corpses and they didn't fade away.
They'll still fade away if you get too many of them around. Of course, that's a lot.
That's a lot of corpses, yeah. You can barely see the ramp anymore. Don't shoot Pavlov, I saw that.
I don't... I'm telling you, friendly fire, I didn't mean to.
I saw his name go
I
red.
didn't mean to.
You're killing history.
I mean, here's the thing, I'm not even sure if he survived. I mean, I don't think I killed him because he went up the... He was yellow when my cursor went off him. And there will be a moment here where I go try to find his corpse to see if I killed him or not. I can't find his corpse.
Oh dear. You're a one-man war crime, sir.
I kind of am.
Assemble with the reinforcements out the front. Just roll all the Germans out with you and go, hey guys, look what I did.
See, I don't see Pavlov. I don't see Pavlov. I choose to believe that I did not kill him.
He's not out here either, is he?
I don't see him. But even if he survives in a couple of my test runs, and he wasn't out here either.
It's his house, he's not going out.
Nope, he just bled for this place.
He owns it now. He found the deed.
Yeah. I really like, again, how unceremonious that ending was. I mean, you just walk out, everybody's like, comrade. They're all tipping their hats to you like proper gentlemen, and then you move on. You did good once. Let's go.
You know, pat on the head. Here's a biscuit, and we've got some more work to do because they're not out of Stalingrad yet.
Our next mission they actually will be out of Stalingrad, and we'll be fast forwarding to Poland. Actually,
wow, that's a step.
Yeah, we'll be well on our way to Berlin, and the next level, fortunately, will not be one that makes me want to kill myself with the difficulty. It's almost a walk in the park compared to how bad Pavlov's house can be. I'm
just imagining like a walk in the park version of this game, and it's just two Russian soldiers hand in hand, like one's got a scoped Mosin-Nagant and the other one's got an MP4, and they're both just skipping down this park, just like gunning down all these Germans.
I like the idea that they're shooting while they're skipping
and holding hands.
I mean, particularly the guy with the Mosin-Nagant. He just pulls it up. He his eye telescopes up to the scope. And he's just shooting it with one hand, like the Imperial General from Dawn of War 2.
He can reach over, maybe the other guy can give him a hand, you know, pull on it with his teeth or something, I don't know.
Well, if any of that happens, we'll be sure to show it off next time, dudes. Until then, I've been Cool Guy.
I've been the last Robo-Kai, and we have maybe not caused a time paradox. Everyone just go check now, see if it's still called Pavlov's house.